What's up everyone, Dylan with That Delta Bravo, and behind me is my very rusty and very crusty 1971 Ford Torino 500. That's right, it has been a very long while since I featured this pile of rust on the channel, and I'm coming to you on a new camera. I ended up getting a GoPro Hero 13 just because I wanted something that's a little bit more run and gun, something that's obviously 4K, and something that would just be easier for me to film these types of videos for you. And well, here we go. Still figuring it out, still learning how it works, so any weird sound or video, I apologize, but let's get to why I dragged out this 1971 Ford Torino 500. I never showed any of this on the videos previously, but these C-pillars were, well, basically you could see right through the car, and well, in some places you still can, but what I ended up doing was taking an angle grinder and grinding back everything that was here, which I thought would be just rusted metal. Turns out it was a little bit of rusted metal and a lot of fiberglass patching. As you could see, spoiler alert, I ended up going back to fiberglass patching, but the previous person who put the fiberglass patches on here didn't even use any resin. It was literally just the fiberglass sheet and then body filler on top of it, which was a no-no. I ended up doing this entire thing, and let me tell you, while it looks like crap and still needs a bit more work, this is now the sturdiest part of the car. I also did that on this side as well. It does need a little bit more work, but hey, this is my first time ever doing fiberglass patching, and I think it turned out just okay, which is good enough considering there were nothing but holes there before. Now, of course, the right thing to do would be welding in new metal, but I don't know how to weld, I don't have the time for that, and this is just a project car, so yeah, it's a project. Originally, what I was going to do is work my way up into here. I'll do a little bit more work here and eventually have all of the C-pillar and around the rear window done. But I just happened to look up in here and I saw, that's a lot of rust. I stuck my universal rust removal tool in there, aka the key for the car, and well, a bunch of rust came down. There's more in the street, we won't talk about that. But then I just went tap, 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 and ended up tapping a hole right through the roof. This is all pretty thin. You could even see another hole right there. So my goal right now is to put an emergency fiberglass patch on there just to stop any more rainwater from getting in. Not exactly what I wanted to do today, but well, that's what you get for poking the roof of your car and seeing what happens. Step one will be to remove the rust and filler, whatever's left here, with one of these polycarbide abrasive wheels from Harbor Freight. This one's, well, I got what's left of this one, and I also have a new one using an angle grinder. And of course, safety first. Probably should be wearing a mask too, but I'm outside and the wind is blowing away from me, so good enough, right? Let's get to it with a little time-lapse action. That was not nearly as bad as I thought it would be, but of course, that's still pretty rough. Holes here, giant hole here, another little pinhole there that I should be addressing, but I'm probably not going to. This body filler is cracked, which means there's probably also another large hole under here. That might be a project for another day. I really don't want to be out here too long, just wanted to do a little something something, and a little something something turns into a big something something, as it normally goes. So the proper thing to do now would be to get rid of the whole car and get a new one. But since I'm not going to be doing that, next step would be cut out that metal and weld in some new metal. Also not gonna do that. So what I'm gonna do is remove the rust, clean the area, tap in the metal a little bit, and get a little fiberglass patch going in there and, well, see how it turns out. Because as you can see, my other fiberglass patches are real pretty and real smooth and flat. None of this right here is metal. Also, you should be using the right hammer for this. I don't have one, so I'm using this. So yeah, you could tell none of this down here is metal. So what's the best way to fix it? Fiberglass patch. Ah, look. What I used for the fiberglass resin last time is still here. And maybe I should just use a new one. Next step is to clean the area. For that, I will just be using some acetone. There are probably other better methods for this, but acetone and some shop towels, and here we go. Who's gonna be the first person in the comments telling me, oh, use gloves, use gloves. Should be using gloves. Oh no, gloves. Nice. The little blue fibers that get left behind, that's just extra structural rigidity. Oh, maybe I should just get rid of this entirely. Nice. For all of you in the comments that are like, oh, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Duh. Have you seen this car? It's not worth doing it right. All right, the fiberglass patches are cut. I'm gonna do 3 layers. Next step is to mix the resin. Then I'm going to put the resin on the metal, then put the resin on the fiberglass patch, then put the resin on the next fiberglass patch, and so on and so forth. Since this will be getting messy, I will be putting on gloves. This camera is gonna go in time-lapse mode, and I'm not gonna touch it again until I'm done because fiberglass. And there is the finished product before it dries. Now, using fiberglass resin is not going to give you a flat surface. After this cures, there's obviously going to be a divot in here. You can kind of see that there's a dent, but most importantly, there is no more giant hole here, and there's no more hole here. Once this cures, you're gonna sand it down, get it nice and even, and then use a body filler of your choice, such as Bondo. That is gonna give you a nice flat surface to work on. Use that body filler, sand it down, as was done here, and then use spot glazing putty to get in those small pinholes. As you can see, I was kind of learning here, and I'm still learning, so yeah, not the best example, but that is what the end product will be versus rough fiberglass like this, which I have not bothered to fix, and well, I will eventually. But again, this was an emergency fix because I noticed a hole right here, and once I sanded it down, it moved down to about here. I did get the resin everywhere here. Again, I don't care. I was trying to patch the hole, but what did catch me off guard that I should have seen coming was the fact that resin started dripping down those giant holes there right onto the glass. The resin on the glass, not a big fan of. That's gonna be annoying to get rid of later. I guess I could probably use the acetone. That's not acetone. Acetone's back in the garage. I could use that to clean it. But I just wedged this paper towel up there to try to take care of that for now. But anyway, also, I unfortunately mixed way too much resin, and that's unfortunately gonna go to waste, but yeah, unfortunately, I also think this will cure before I could get to another area to start patching it. Last time when I noticed I mixed too much resin, that's actually what I ended up doing. Was I very quickly took the angle grinder, found a new spot. Actually, I think it was that spot right there. Ground that down real fast and threw some fiberglass patches on it. That's also why it's a bit messy. Yeah, that is what happened. This was like a couple years ago at this point. As you can see, I've done a lot to this car off camera, and also it's gotten progressively worse off camera. But try to not over mix what you need, because then you'll waste it, and that stuff costs money. But yeah, I'm not gonna try to fix anything else on this car right now. That's all I wanted to get done, and that's what I got done. Because at this point, trying to film the video and everything, it's already starting to harden on there, and you don't wanna deal with hardened resin while you're trying to get it to actually do what you want it to do, which is hardened.
A few moments later.
And there you have it. The repair is done. Well, sort of done. I'm stopping here. I do need to sand it down, put body filler on top of it, but I just really can't be bothered to do that right now, because remember when I said that's all I'm doing? Well, I lied. On the other side, I ended up going at it with the angled grinder, revealing more carnage that was underneath, including a bad filler patch job of where the roof seam meets with the C-pillar. Again, this used to be a vinyl top car. All those little holes that the vinyl top was secured to the vehicle with, those were all there as well and just had filler in them. So what I ended up doing was punching those holes out and then using some small fiberglass patches on them to secure them. And then I just hit the angle grinder, got rid of that primer that was in the area, and just put a light coat of primer over it, and then also used filler in that seam. Now again, nothing I did was done the right way, and I don't suggest doing anything the way I did. This is just a quick and dirty way for this beat up car that I really don't care about. But again, this repair is done. As you can see, that is way more solid than the hole that was there before. So again, this is the update on the Torino. Not much, making more holes and trying to fill them. That's what she said. Anyway, if you want to follow me on my journey with this 1971 Ford Torino 500 with my new GoPro, again, let me know what you think about this video, what you think about the new camera, and what you want to see me do on this Torino next. I'm probably gonna do a part 2 when I do finally sand this down. Whoops. When I do finally sand this down and add filler to it and paint it and all that. That's probably not gonna be for a while. Again, I just wanted to patch the hole to stop more water from coming in. Let me know what you think about this video, guys, and everything that I just said. I don't want to repeat it again. I'm just rambling. Thank you very much for watching, though. If you want to see what happens next, make sure you subscribe, give me a like, and give me a comment about what you thought about this video and all that. Either way, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you on the next video, whenever that might be.